I don't know. I don't have a clue. You got to get on with your life. I mean, that was then, this is now. The legacy is, quite simply, at the time, the vibrant activity of it when it was happening was it gave comedians and performers a venue to be seen. And then they could go out and play nightclubs and command a decent salary because they had said they'd been on the Ed Sullivan Show. So there was a very real a perk plus from actually being on the Ed Sullivan Show for us, made it much easier for us to perform and go over, at the Hungry Eye or Mr. Kelly's in Chicago. Whereas if we went in cold and we were just two comedians and they didn't know, the man and woman, they do sketches. But if they say, oh yeah, they're on the Ed Sullivan Show, it again, the imprimatur of our Pope, Ed Sullivan, he said they're good. That made it easier for all these wonderful performers.
What he did also, in addition, was he broke the ice for certain performers who would never have broken the ice. Richie Pryor, who we know about today, is no longer with us. The Supremes, who we loved. It was a news. These kids were off of the streets of Detroit, and the fact that he liked them and put them on as number of times that he did, now made them part of our culture. You couldn't go around saying, who are those girls? What are they talking about? All the songs that came out.
It's so musical today. I can't get over it.
And he brought children. He had enough for the children, all the acrobatic acts. And on a personal level, when he did Hershey and Mary Elizabeth, and we did that sketch, and we did two sequels to it. One was the high school reunion when the two of them meet again. He brought, I think, for the first time, and I got this from people who, when we went out on the road and did some stock, would come back and say, we're just like you two. I said, you're Irish and you're Jewish? No, he's Chicano and I'm Italian. And we got together. So that people, whether they came from Appalachia, where you had a lot of the mixture of the people who were Italian, who came from Philadelphia, who married into that kind of Scotch-Irish culture, and they came together. So that it made, in some way, it contributed to what was already there in the country. Mixed cultures, people were living together. And it was like a, where did that come from? We had once the Association of Catholics, some advancement of, I forget exactly what it was, but people kind of noticed us.
They could relate because of the different backgrounds that we were showing and how they got along. But don't forget, at the time Ed Sullivan was on, it was a different thing. There would be generations of grandparents, parents, children, they all watching one show. They'd be watching Ed Sullivan or Jackie Gleason or Milton Berle, and it wasn't the narrow casting that you have now. Now you have Comedy Central, thank God, and CBS, NBC, ABC, and all the talking heads on cable, besides the premium, HBO, Showtime, and you have 500 channels. That was not it then.
Sunday night, 8 o'clock, everybody...
And it would reach the demographic was like the whole different age groups. As Jerry said a minute ago, Sullivan knew that, and he had the jugglers for the kids, or the clowns, or whatever, or the elephant, and the Supremes for the teenagers, and Elvis Presley, and stuff like that.
He created, either...
And the Beatles, let's not forget the Beatles.
In some way, he created this legacy which brought people together in some way. Everybody knew there was a piece of that show that was going to affect them in some personal way.
It was vaudeville is what it was, which was before our time, but it was vaudeville on television.
Yeah.
And he was the compere.
He made it happen
MC.
for you,